What's up, everybody? Welcome back. So, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Bafwe too. So, last time on our channel, we were discussing about the things we did not say, and we did a part one, right? So, on that part one, I was more in detail. I was trying to balance because I know when we say make goals and achieve them, like, to an extent, it sounds like we're some unrealistic motivational talk. Like, you can do it. No, yes, you can. Don't get me wrong. You can do it. But we must face the reality of doing it. Because if we only gonna tell you that everybody can be a millionaire, and we don't tell you that there are two types, there are those who steal and there are those who work. Now, when you work ethically, you get to the finish line, you find the guys who have been stealing have 3 times more than you. Now you cry foul because we never told you. So we need to be frank. So that's what I was doing on the last video when we covered the things we did not say. So that when we done with all of this process, or when we done with all of these videos, you are not left feeling like something is missing, or you are not left feeling like you just watched another video and it is just speculations, there's nothing to it. At the end of the day, if our speech is not gonna deliver any progress or impact, we better not say anything. But thank you guys for keeping up. Thank you guys for following through. Thank you for your subscribing. I've been seeing your subscribes are going up. Hit the notification bell so that you don't miss on the next episode. And if you've been missing episodes, it's time for you to catch up. But let's get straight to it. I want us to deal with a few things here, and then we wrap things up. So what happens is that when you have goals and you have dreams, you have an action plan that you've set out on your way out of anxiety and depression, on your way out of feeling low self-esteem about yourself, on your way out of feeling like you ain't achieving anything, on your way out of having patience defined rather than wasting your time, because these two ain't the same. They might look the same, they're not. On your way out of these things, you gotta have an action plan. Your action plan must feature the nitty-gritties of your time. And when I say the nitty-gritties, I mean you've got to be so organized. Sometimes when you say I'm booked for the day, you're just talking about laundry and spring cleaning, or laundry and doing your room. Because now, one thing else is that you can't have a messed up mind where just everything is packed up against each other, have a messed up room, have a messed up look, when it is that you've got access to soap. You can wash your clothes and be clean. You can always become neat when you want to. So your action plan must be so detailed to an extent that you know that in a week or two, when is it time that you must redo your hairstyle or your haircut. And this does not only speak to monetary value, sometimes you can even do it yourself. But make sure that the routines that keep you in check and other aspects are always taken care of, no matter how small they are. So the crisis at most is that you might have an idea of how to start, but you never start. You might even have a genius idea of how much it costs, or rather a multimillionaire idea of innovation, but you never start. So at the end of the day, when you have a slip up in a day, maybe let's say you were writing an assignment, and then in the assignment that you're writing, you get low marks, and then immediately when you get low marks, it triggers all of your other failures. Some of the failures that are triggered in your mind aren't really failures. Those situations that you call failures in your mind that are triggered by you not getting the right academic mark on your assignment, or on a smaller thing that you were trying to achieve yourself in, those are the things you never got to implement. And when you have an idea of a brilliant thing that you need to start, it's so difficult to start. But believe me, once you start, it becomes easier for you to follow through the other steps. So you are able to see where you are lacking, and you are able to see that where you are complimented for starting and doing good, how do you build forward to grow? Once you start, you have the confidence to grow. And everybody else who's somewhere started somewhere else. So if you want to reach for the stars, you've got to start walking the ground. You have to know how to move from ground level to the next level. The people who went to the moon most probably started off on the ground and then ultimately got up and defied gravity and ultimately ended up on the moon. So you need to acknowledge the small steps to the big successes. Otherwise, you're gonna be obsessed about the big success but never implement the small steps. So at the end of the day, you need to face your challenges in a way that it becomes positive towards the outcomes of what you do in implementing your way out. Because if you don't do that, you're gonna weigh yourself down with negative thoughts of things you never even tried to do. And then those feel like, you know what, I never did anything. And it's not that you never did anything, but you just never started. Maslow's hierarchy of needs lists down love as one of the needs. And this is very important. You gotta find people who love you. Not only people who are gonna love you so that they blind you from reality, but people who are gonna love you enough for you to know that, you know what, even if you don't feel like nothing and you don't feel like nobody, at least there's somebody who thinks you are something. It's very important to have that. And most people would suffer a childhood trauma simply because maybe they had parents who were never supportive, so they never had that kind of vibe. But in an aspect of you trying to find a circle that's appreciative of you, avoid being too desperate for it, because that opens a doorway to bullying. Because you find people who love the idea of you loving them or you wanting them to love you so much so that they abuse it. So you must be careful around that. But sometimes appreciating or having people around you to appreciate you, just like even if it's your birthday and they bring one cake and you guys don't have enough money for a party, that says something. So if you can't find such, be that person to someone else. So what I'm trying to ask you is that even if you're not facing anxiety and depression, just be nice. Be a good person. Don't screw up everybody's day so that they feed your ego in a way. Stop being narcissistic. Care for the next person. Even if they always care for you and they never seem like they need the care back, try to care for the next person. If you have a 13-year-old, 16-year-old at home, go to their games when they're running, you know, or playing athletes, or whatever the case might be, or doing poetry or arts and whatever. Just support them. Because sometimes some childhood traumas lead up to messed up adults. So, in a nutshell, guys, at the end of the day, nothing that we can do on YouTube all day long can ever replace the fact that you need to see a professional. So, until next time, Danko 18 hours in Moye.